Hello, welcome to the first week of the Go Up series. This is meant to be a fun, healthy, human, loving, and a real glow up, not shaming, not perfect, not unrealistic expectations. This is probably going to be the heaviest week of the series because it's going to be going through my past and understanding how I got to this point. So, all my life, I was the healthy girl. I was skinny, I exercised. From the outside, it looked like I was healthy. But crying myself to sleep, still being hungry, isn't healthy. Lifting weights to please a man isn't healthy. Drinking and eating to satisfy a temporary feeling instead of working on the real, deep rooted issues isn't healthy. I had and am recovering from a lifelong binge eating problem and understanding that true health isn't abs or restricting myself, it's about balance. About 6 months to a year ago, I had lost myself so much to the point I couldn't even recognize myself in the mirror anymore. The year was one of the hardest I had ever faced. I went through like the most stressful year of my life so far. And my family was in the hospital, almost dropping out my last year of engineering school and going through the most crippling, paralyzing anxiety that I've ever had. I started eating and drinking and going against my words so much that I felt normal to me. I had to stop posting on YouTube because I knew I wasn't living what I was preaching. And I mean, I was waking up at 5 a.m. and working out, but there were some real problems I needed to work out myself before I could ever truly help anyone else. Like loving myself and doing something so that the world can see that I was doing it for myself. And I got so heavy. I remember in September, my loved ones were asking me if I was pregnant. And instead of doing anything about it, I hid behind baggy clothes and I felt so uncomfortable in my skin. And I hated going outside. And I knew how much I hated how I felt, but I didn't actually do anything about it. But something in November of last year shifted. Through my lowest point, I found true love for myself. All my life, it had flipped. I thought I had to do things to love myself, to look a certain way to love myself, but love actually was the opposite. For example, I didn't realize that God loved me. I thought I needed to be perfect to receive love from not just God, but like my parents, my partner. I thought if I read the Bible, God would love me. If I went to engineering school, my parents would love me. If I was skinny, my partner would love me. But these are all lies. Sorry, I'm going to tear up. I already had love from all the people around me, but I put expectations on myself because I didn't feel good enough. When I realized I already had God's love, that I didn't feel shame for not showing up perfectly. I already had my partner's love. Me not doing my hair one day doesn't mean I lose love. I already had love from my parents. I didn't need an engineering degree to gain their love. I am worthy of being loved at my lowest and my highest. My poorest, my heaviest, at my worst, I still deserve love. And external validation isn't real love, it's temporary satisfaction. So, this realization made me see that I was only loving myself if I looked a certain way, if I seemed successful to the world, if people liked me. But true love isn't if. But now, understanding I love myself at my worst, and that girl who I used to hate and put expectations on is just as worthy as the girl sitting here now. I took myself for granted, and now I'm able to do things through love. I read my Bible because I love God and actually look forward to reading the Word. I move my body because I love and respect myself. I have a salad and a piece of chocolate without guilt because I love myself and value balance and not a life of restricting. I can set 10 minutes out of my day to meditate and listen to something that uplifts me because I love to feel good. To truly love myself at my worst means I can only go up from here. I used to run 6 miles a day during COVID because there was really nothing else to do during that time. And I got so skinny that any amount of weight I would put on, I remember just looking in the mirror and crying and hating myself so much. And why? Running 6 miles a day was unrealistic. And I put an unrealistic expectation on myself and then felt shame when I couldn't keep up with it. In November of last year, I really thought about what I wanted. I wanted balance. I wanted to feel comfortable in my skin. I wanted to stick to my word. I wanted a relationship with God and I wanted to try on YouTube. And for the first time, staying comfortable hurt more than changing. And I spent 2 months of last year really asking myself what I wanted, my future, myself. I created my self help a sexy channel. And I let go of restricting myself and quick fix diets. And January 5th of this year, I started. Not only did I start, but I didn't say anything. I showed up on the camera as my heaviest self, showing every insecurity, seeing the comments about my appearance, which my past healthy self could never do. My past healthy self would only show the perfect version of herself, would take out anything that showed any kind of flaw. But I showed up this way and looked this way, yet I was the healthiest and happiest I had been in a really, really long time. And it is currently April of 2026, and it is probably the healthiest and most consistent I've been with my body, mind, and soul I think I've ever been in my life. I move my body every day. I eat food that fuels me and eat food that I enjoy. I went out and made friends, and I spent time with family and with God. I had finally found a routine that worked for me. I didn't wait to show the world my perfect side, which perfect doesn't even exist, but I was able to make videos and show all of these things, knowing my outer didn't reflect what I was doing off camera and my growth yet. I showed up in that way when the same girl a year ago was so insecure about a small double chin it stopped her from chasing her dream. The same girl who was so insecure she wouldn't even show her face. The same girl who restricted herself and cried herself to sleep, who second guessed every photo she took, finding any and every flaw. The same girl who allowed external validation to define her worth when she was worthy all along. I am so excited for this series on my channel because it's going to be through love and not hate. And I'm excited to do more hairstyles and maybe try a new makeup routine and getting new clothes and all that stuff's wonderful. But I couldn't do any of that without focusing on my inner work and loving myself truly at my worst and now being able to show up for myself every day. Next week, I'm going to go through some basics that you can start if you have no idea where to begin and realistic action steps through love and respecting yourself. But yes, I know that was a little heavy. I'm sorry. I hope this is able to help you or someone you love, and I'll see you in the next one.